This video will cover solving one-step equations using addition and subtraction. Here are some things to keep in mind as we work with equations. The first is that our goal is to isolate the variable so that the variable is on one side of the equation and our constants and other terms are on the other side of the equation. The second thing we're going to keep in mind is that we need to use inverse operations to solve an equation. In this video, we're going to use addition to undo subtraction and subtraction to undo addition. And finally, we're going to balance the equation at each step. In my first equation, x plus 12 equal 15, I'm going to isolate my variable x, and I'm going to do that by using an inverse operation to get rid of the 12 from the left side of the equation. The inverse operation for addition is subtraction. And in order to keep my equation balanced, I need to subtract 12 from the left side of the equation, and I also need to subtract 12 from the right side of the equation. Now, what I've done is I've created two little addition problems, one on each side of the equation. I have a 12 plus negative 12 on this side of the equation, and 15 plus negative 12 on that side of the equation. And I'm going to actually cover up the x with this little block so that you can see them better. Now, 12 plus negative 12, they're opposites, and they're going to equal 0. And 15 plus negative 12, or 15 minus 12, is 3. And now I'm going to take the block away, and I still have my x in my equation. I'm going to bring that down, and I'm going to rewrite my whole equation as x plus 0 is equal to 3. Well, x plus 0 doesn't really make much sense, so what I'm going to do is drop that 0 and rewrite this as my solution x is equal to 3. In our next example, we have 4 plus x equals 7. And in this example, we want to isolate the variable x by getting rid of this 4, which is a positive 4. So I'm going to put a positive symbol there so that we know that it is positive. And the opposite of a positive 4 is a negative 4. So I'm going to subtract 4 from both sides, or add a negative 4 to both sides. And I'm going to bring the block in to cover up my variable so you can see those two little problems on either side. Now 4 plus negative 4 is 0, and 7 plus negative 4, or 7 minus 4, is 3. Let's take that block away now, and let's bring down our x into our rewritten equation, and I have 0 plus x equal 3. Well, this 0 I really don't need in my equation, so I'm going to rewrite it as my solution that x is equal to 3. All right, in my next example, I have x minus 6 equal negative 5. I'm going to isolate my variable x by using the inverse operation for subtraction, which is addition. So I'm going to add the opposite to the left side, which is 6, and whatever I do to the left I have to do to the right, so I have to add 6 to both sides so that my equation is balanced. And now I have my two little problems that I'm going to go and solve, and I have a negative 6 plus a positive 6. They're opposites, they're going to equal 0, and a negative 5 plus a positive 6 is equal to a positive 1. Let's take that block out of there now and add our x back into our equation. So I have x plus 0 is equal to 1. And as I said before, this 0 really serves no purpose here, so I'm going to drop it. And my solution then is x is equal to 1. Now, for the next problem, I have x minus 18 is equal to a positive 9. I'm going to isolate this variable x, and I'm going to use the inverse of subtraction, which is addition. and I'm going to add 18 to both sides of my equation. And let's bring that block over and hide my x. And negative 18 plus a positive 18 is going to equal to 0. And 9 plus 18 is going to be 27. Let's take the block out and show our variable again. And this time I'm just going to write x plus 0 equals 27. I'm going to drop that 0 because it serves no purpose in my equation, and my solution is x is equal to 27. Okay, in my next example, I have x minus 4 equal negative 10, and I'm going to isolate my x on the left side of the equation by getting rid of the 4 that is with it. And the inverse operation of subtraction is addition, so in this one I'm going to add a 4 to both sides of my equation, and that is going to keep my equation balanced. And let's cover up my x so I can see my two little problems. I have negative 4 plus positive 4, which is 0. And I have 10 plus, or negative 10 plus positive 4 is negative 6. Let's take the block away, and I see I have x still on the left side of my equation. I bring that down, and I have x plus 0 equals negative 6, and I'm going to rewrite my equation or my solution by dropping that 0 because it serves no purpose anymore, and I get my solution to the equation is x is equal to negative 6. In the next example, I have x minus 14 is equal to 5. I need to isolate my variable by getting rid of the value 14. It is subtraction, and the inverse operation for subtraction is addition. So I'm going to add 14 to both sides, showing that my equation is balanced. Let's bring in the block, cover up my x so you can see the two little problems. And I have negative 14 plus positive 14 is 0. And I have 5 plus 14 is 19. And let's take the block away and bring down our x into the equation. So I have x plus 0 is equal to 19, and let's drop that 0, so my solution is x is equal to 19. I hope this has helped you understand how to solve equations using addition and subtraction.